Big night this for Joe Cordina. It could be just this fight between him and a challenge for a world title against Miko Khatchatryan, with a very similar record, from Belgium, born in Yerevan, the capital of Armenia, and has a very smart amateurish type style, a style that suited him in the amateur ranks. 70-odd fights in those amateur ranks without reaching the levels that Cordina did. Cordina reaching the last 16 of the Olympics in 2016. But plenty of speed on the part of Khatchatryan on fights that we've seen in his professional career so far. Both men unbeaten in 13.
Yeah, Khatchatryan is a good fighter from what I've seen of him. Has that amateur pedigree that he touched on. He's a good tidy boxer, doesn't waste much, but he's in there with a very good man in Joe Cordina, who looked so spiteful and destructive last time against Joshua Hernandez. It's a brutal first round knockout, and that was what we was asking and wanted to see from Joe Cordina. And you can see the confidence in this opening round from Joe, on the front foot, looking spiteful, razor sharp hands, feinting with the jab there and coming in with the left hook. Smart boxing, very talented fighter, Joe Cordina.
Almost connecting with that right hand, which produced such a sensational finish last time around against Joshua Hernandez in a contest that was expected to provide a real test for Cordina. And this time he drives it home onto the left-hand side of the face of Khatchatryan, who, it has to be said, takes it well at that stage.
He's taken a couple of good shots from Joe. He's very aggressive right now on the front foot. Like I say, oozing with confidence. You can see it even in the build-up this week. Just desperate to get in there and challenge for a world title. Got to take care of business and wants to look good doing so. But no doubt 2022 will be a big year for Joe Cordina. Khatchatryan moving an awful lot to his left, walking onto the right hand of Joe Cordina. Needs to mix up, vary the movement on his feet.
Cordina starting to concentrate the attack to the body, using those feints as well, and working in behind the left jab. Again, going looking for that overhand right that was so successful last time around.
Yeah, lovely, giving the eyes and the jab to the body, coming over with the right hand to the head. Oh, just missing with that shot there, Joe Cordina. Good variation, he's changing the level so well, making Khatchatryan think, doesn't know where the shots are coming from. Again, he's moving to his left. Got to watch out, we've seen Joe looking for that right hand already. So he's moving right onto it, Khatchatryan. Nice jab to the body from the Belgian.
Cordina reading well the attack from the Belgian at the end of that very lively, impressive first round from Joe Cordina.
Don't throw nothing too far out. Make sure you get your feet in there, yeah? It's good though, going up and down, yeah, with the jabs. He's always moving to that side, just cut him off a little bit here, though. It's good, mate. Keep your speed there, right? Keep working that up and down. Keep looking for the right hand around the body as well. Little rolls afterwards, yeah? It's a good start, mate. All you got to remember is little feints and then throw off. Feints and then throw off, right? Because when you feint,
c'est important, hein, ok? À droite, elle passe, hein? N'oublie pas, on travaille la droite à la rate pour aller chercher le foie, hein, aussi. Ouais, c'est moi qui te lève. Ok?
So Joe Cordina looking to build on a bright start here, moving into the second round of 10 against the Belgian Miko Khatchatryan. And now he steps forward once again, warned by Tony Sims, his long-time trainer in his corner, not to overreach on the way in.
Yeah, Tony also noticing that Khatchatryan moving to his left, so cut the corner off the ring, try and pin him into the corner and let your hands go. He's looking very sharp, Joe. Desperate, I think, to follow up with that knockout over Hernandez, score another one. It'd be a big statement, I feel, to get stoppage over Khatchatryan, who I've been impressed with the stuff I've seen of him before, but he's well up against it here. Second best in every department so far.
And already looking as though he's puzzled as to how he can land a clean shot on Cordina. Right hand sails through from the Belgian, and Cordina read it well and just swayed back out of range, looking so comfortable in this early stage of the contest. A lot of it built behind that left-hand jab, which has served him so well. We were talking about the adaptations needing to be made by Peter McGrail, and the great asset that Cordina has taken with him through from the amateur ranks is that left jab. He varies. It sometimes touches, sometimes drives it home, varies to the body and the head. It really is a very useful shot.
Oh, it's everything. Most important shot in boxing, without a doubt. You get your timing, your distance, your range, everything is off the jab, and you can see Joe using it so well. Not just to the head, to the body as well. Keeping Khatchatryan thinking all the time. He's trying to set up that right hand to the head after the jab to the body. Just following Khatchatryan around the ring a little bit. Listen to Tony and try and cut the ring down. Pin Khatchatryan into the corner and let the shots go, but so far, really good positive start from Joe Cordina.
Khatchatryan in Belgium regarded as the #2 super featherweight in the country, behind Farouk Kubanov, who was outpointed by Cordina in one of those behind closed door shows at Wembley back in March of this year. Another lovely sharp jab from Cordina, finding his range with that lead left hand, and then swaying again out of range of the follow-up from Khatchatryan, who's swinging away there and dancing away with a look of resignation on his face, as if to say, how can I land cleanly?
Looking for the right hand over the jab of Cordina there, but falling short with it. He landed 4 shots on the gloves of Cordina. There's a little bit of reddening over the left eye. The corner of Khatchatryan getting quite animated. Feel he's having a bit of success, but Cordina looking composed. I think he'll be happy that Khatchatryan is looking to throw his shots. I think that's where Joe has a better chance of catching the Belgium, as he's trading 2 good rounds.
Well, still to come, Robbie Davis Jr. and then Katie Taylor defending her undisputed world lightweight championship. Smiles on the way in. She's been looking very relaxed all week in the build-up to this contest, and we've been talking about what's to come for Joe Cordina. Plenty potentially for Taylor as well, but she has to first beat Firuza Sharipova of Kazakhstan, so proudly representing her country, the first female professional from Kazakhstan, and that drew a lot of emotion from her in one of our interviews earlier this week. And if she can keep those emotions in check tonight, then it could be a stiff challenge for Katie Taylor. Into the third round, and just signs at the end of the second that Khatchatryan was warming into the contest, and it's now for Joe Cordina to stamp his authority once again.
Again, Khatchatryan opting to move solely to his left. Touched it before, he's got to be careful. Joe has found the range with the right hand a couple of times. Not thrown too much in the second round. He's working well behind the jab. You see already the Belgium starting to get a bit busy with his jab.
Applause from the Belgians' corner, although Cordina covered up well in the face of that latest attack. And still the Belgian moving almost exclusively to his left.
Just misses with a left to the body, but lands 2 good body shots there. Cordina takes him well. Khatchatryan, little smile from the Belgium. Good aggressive movement from Joe Cordina on the front foot. Still following Khatchatryan around though. Trying to cut that ring off. Landed a good left to the body.
Yeah, some good body shots being landed by Cordina so far in this third round. We're moving to the halfway stage of it.
I mean, that's the other tactic, Mike. If you're not going to cut your man off and try and pin him into the corner on the ropes, the body shots will slow your opponent down. And that might be the tactic from Joe, slowing down these hurtful body shots. Good overhand right from the Belgium. Sloppy jab from Joe, he was countered. And
this is already turning into a test for Cordina, because gradually, with each of his successes, Khatchatryan is starting to fancy the job. Tries that cheeky right hand over the top there as Cordina again let go with the jab.
You can see that reddening over the left eye, under the left eye, sorry, of Joe Cordina. He's been caught with a couple of right hands. It's just when he's been pouring that jab out, Khatchatryan's found the range a couple of times with that right hand. Again, Joe following him out. He's got him pinned in the corner. That's where he's got his hands go. A couple of short right hands winning from the Welshman.
Half a minute to go in round 3. Still Cordina on the front foot.
Oh, good right hand.
Timed it well behind the left-hand jab. Stepped in, found the range for the jab, and that opened up the room for that right hand over the top. Good work from Cordina. Last few seconds of the 3rd round.
Fais gaffe, hein. Voilà. Il frappe.
Well, definitely the most eye-catching shot of that round. I mean, previous it was the body shots working really well, but it was a lovely right hand winning from Joe. You see there, he gave a feint with the eyes and with the hand and landed a beautiful right hand over the top, real speed and accuracy. He took it well, Khatchatryan. Sort of took the sting out of it, didn't he, Mike?
Yeah, beautiful the way that Cordina feinted with the jab to the body and then pinged the right hand over the top and then tried the jab to the head after that. Classy work from Joe Cordina. Well, the feints were working well in the opening round for Cordina, and he picked it up again in that previous round to get himself back on top in the contest. There's a feeling that he has always been on top, has had the upper hand, but Khatchatryan still very much in the contest.
For a right hand of his own there.
Tries that right hand.
Good shot.
Counter over the jab.
Still following the Belgian round the ring. Joe Johnson cut that ring off. That's where he backed the Belgian into the corner. That's where he landed that lovely right hand, but it's good pressure on the front foot from Joe. Boxing lice. Again, getting a nice ribbon behind that jab. Belgium also trying to get that lead hand off. It's just not as sharp as the Welshman's.
Khatchatryan at times looking to ping the right hand over the top of Cordina's jab. He's had a couple of successes in there in that exchange. The best shot was the last shot, the left hook from Cordina.
Lovely shot. Drew Khatchatryan in and threw the right hand, followed up with a left hook. He took it well, the Belgian.
As you were saying, Darren, when Cordina invites Khatchatryan to open up, it's when Cordina has some of his best successes.
Yeah, he has the upper hand when it comes to speed and power. So you fancy Joe in them exchanges, but credit to Khatchatryan, he's trying, he's looking to let the shots go, get pinned into the corner here, exits well. Just mixing up the ways that he's moving in the ring there. He's starting to go to his right slightly, keeping Joe thinking.
Khatchatryan trying the Billy Joe Saunders' David Lemieux staring out of the ring, but Cordina unfussed.
And the two left hooks to the body, Khatchatryan, but back on Joe Cordina with two good right hands, followed by a right hand and a left hook of his own. Good work from the Welshman.
Brilliant attack from Cordina, switching the variety. Left hand to the body after a brilliant right hand to the chin. No showboating, no play acting from Khatchatryan after that particular exchange, although he is still firing back and tries another one of those right hands over the top. Half a minute to go in a lively 4th round.
Really entertaining stuff, and they both trade in the pocket. 3 and 4 shots go. Good 1-2 left hook from Cordina. Shake it ahead from Khatchatryan.
And those body shots from Cordina really being rammed home. And will they eventually, as the rounds pass by, slow down the Belgian? Entertaining contest between two men, so well schooled.
Yeah, two very good boxers, Mike.
Closing him down right now, John. Closing down, the body shots are good, see what I mean? You open it up with the body shots, then bring the uppercuts through afterwards, yeah?
And this was that lovely attack, Darren.
Yeah, mixing it up well. When they're exchanging levels, really is exciting stuff. But Joe going through the gears, getting a bit scrappy at times when they were exchanging, but
that's the one.
You see it there.
The left hook to the body.
Exactly. There. It's the eyes to the body, the little feint to the body with the jab, and he comes firing over the right hand and changes the levels again and drops that left to the body. Really, really smart boxing by Cordina.
Do that feint underneath to the body and come up with the left hook. Yeah?
So heading towards potentially the halfway stage of this contest, Joe Cordina looking to move towards a world title challenge at some stage in 2022. And here starting well over the first 4 rounds against Miko Khatchatryan of Belgium. Both men unbeaten in 13 contests. It's been at times a fascinating exhibition of well-schooled, well-tutored boxers, but Cordina very much the man on top, although he's clipped by a neat uppercut there from the Belgian in the early stages of this 5th round.
Yeah, that was a lovely short right uppercut from Khatchatryan. He was caught with a lovely right uppercut by Cordina. He threw a long left hook to the body, but before he gets his hand back, the speed of Cordina caught the Belgian with a beautiful shot. You see the aggression again by Cordina on the front foot. He's got his man in the corner, just loading up a bit with that right hand, but doing the right thing now, cutting that ring down and getting the Belgian backed into the corner.
Tony Sims in the corner asking for a feint to the body with the right hand and then come over the top with the left hook. Now Khatchatryan moving to his right for a rare occasion. He did it once or twice in the previous round, but for most of the first 3 rounds he was circling only to his left and potentially into the path of the kind of right hand that brought Cordina such a brilliant success last time around at Fight Camp against Joshua Hernandez. 53 seconds it lasted when there were questions after the surgery that Cordina had undergone on his right hand as to whether he might be apprehensive about throwing it. Well, he produced one of the punches of the year to dismiss Hernandez, and now he works away with that right hand to the body and then tries to whip it up into an uppercut.
Being made to work so much, Khatchatryan on the feet, constantly moving. It's the pressure, really good controlled pressure from Cordina. Gets caught with a right hand there though, but again you see Khatchatryan on his bike having to move. Good work to the body from the Welshman. Start to up the work rate now. Closing that gap, back in Khatchatryan into the corner, just misses with the left downstairs.
One of the differences might be, as we head to the last half a minute of this 5th round, is the pace of the contest and how each is suited to it. Khatchatryan never been beyond 8 rounds in the professional ranks, whereas Joe Cordina has been the championship distance a couple of times and 10 rounds a couple of times, and at a good pace as well, whereas in most of his contests Khatchatryan has had it all going his way. He's had an awful lot to think about here, and that mental fatigue can induce physical fatigue as well, as Cordina tries to open up once again.
Yeah, and this pace suits Cordina, who takes a few on the gloves there. Good work from Khatchatryan, but they're not scoring shots on the gloves, and yeah, like I said, he's been made to work an awful lot under a lot of pressure from Cordina.
Close him off into the corners now, let your hands go, come on. Yeah?
Don't stop moving.
Yeah, I know, but usually down to you to cut him off.
Robbie Davis Jr. in the dressing room. He's up next, facing the American Hank Lundy, and he's been saying this week, Robbie Davis, that this is a chance to kickstart his career. You can just see on the edge of that left-hand side of the split screen Shane McGuigan, and this is their 2nd fight together.
Don't let him start kicking silly jabs off on you, do you know what I mean? Yeah? Come on, you hurt him with the left hook to the body that man. Let's get that left hook again, yeah? Left hook, right hook, left hook, keep working the body, all right? Go, Joe. Close him into the corner this round.
Round 6.
The words of Tony Sims, along with Shane McGuigan, another of the country's most respected trainers, and Cordina just losing his footing there at the beginning of this 6th round as we move into the second half of the contest. And Tony Sims asking him to try to pin Khatchatryan in the corners. Cordina's complaint was that the man never stops moving.
Yeah, getting frustrated, Cordina. You can understand it is annoying when someone likes a good overhand right from Joe. He landed that. But this is why Tony wants him to close the ring down, because when he does get Khatchatryan backed onto the corner or on the ropes, he doesn't have his best work. He really unloads with the shots, and we see it there, landing overhand right. Took it well, the Belgian. There's a bit more aggression with that front feet from Joe to try and pin Khatchatryan into the corners needed. Belgian firing back with some good right hooks. Taken well, taken on the gloves by Joe. It's good work from the Belgian. Come out positive in this round.
I wonder if this is some kind of ploy from Cordina, inviting Khatchatryan to open up and then see what he can do in response. Leave the gaps and then exploit those gaps.
You see that frustration on the face of Joe Cordina. Khatchatryan's head was down. Really started ripping them in. That's a good left hook. You see the movement. Both directions now from Khatchatryan, but he's backed into the corner now. This is where Joe wants his man, but the Belgian hangs on. Good levels there from Joe. Double jab to the head, drop the right to the body. Mixing it up. Keeping Khatchatryan thinking, but he just can't pin this Belgian into the corner. He's got him there now, but as soon as he gets him there, Khatchatryan manages to hold on. He lands a right hand of his own.
Good right from Khatchatryan after smiling at Cordina as he danced his way around the ring. And so Cordina just having to keep his cool here, working away well to the body. Some good body shots again being thrown by Cordina, but still Khatchatryan very much in this fight, the biggest test of his career. Just as it is for Cordina, given what potentially lies ahead in 2022. Now Cordina starts to open up as he drives Khatchatryan back onto the ropes. Khatchatryan complaining about being hit on the back of the head. Is that a sign? Is he starting to wilt inside the last half a minute of the 6th?
Yeah, some good work to the body from Cordina again. Back comes Khatchatryan, firing 4 headshots, taking on the gloves of Cordina. He's got his man in the corner now. This is where he wants to go to work. He's moved an awful lot, the Belgian, constantly. Joe just taking a step off there, trying to draw Khatchatryan in. Come in slightly frustrated, Joe.
Reste à bouche. Respire.
Terrific right hand from Khatchatryan there, and he smiled as he danced away. He had been smiling for half a minute before then, landing high on the head for Cordina. Might have been more troublesome 6 inches lower, but Cordina takes it and implores Khatchatryan to try it again.
Yeah, it's the movement frustrating him, but this is good work from Cordina. He took a couple of shots. You can see the frustration. Khatchatryan moaning that's on the back of the head.
So Cordina having to work for his opening so far as we move into round 7, scheduled for 10. Is this to be the last appearance in a ring before he challenges for a world title? Cordina looking to impress here. He said during the week that he's got his eyes on Kenichi Ogawa, who took the vacant IBF title a few weeks ago on the undercard of that big shock for George Kambosos. And now Cordina again getting on the front foot, trying to apply the pressure, trying to keep the pace hot, trying to conduct the fight at his tempo, to be too busy for Khatchatryan, who looked tired as he sat on the stool at the end of that previous round.
Though Khatchatryan's still moving, it's slowed down slightly. He's having a bit more success now, Joe, pinning the Belgian onto the ropes. Like I say, he's moving, but it has slowed slightly. So this really will suit Cordina. I knew this was maybe that was a good left to the body.
To the body. And Khatchatryan reeled away there. That hurt. And although he's beckoning Cordina forward, that certainly hurt because he almost bent double. He failed to hide the pain, and now Cordina looks to measure his attack. There's not the same zap in the punches of Khatchatryan as there was a couple of rounds ago.
Taking some big, deep breaths of Belgium. He's been forced to move so much. Now finally feeling it, and it has slowed down with those feet. Fires in with a 1-2 long right hook, taken on the gloves by Joe. He just needs to up the tempo slightly now. I do feel that Khatchatryan is slowing down, so this is now where Joe's got to show his class and up the work rate. Let him go in 2s and 3s and go again.
Good uppercuts from Khatchatryan. There's still plenty of fight left in the Belgian. For all that he might have been showing signs of weakening, for all that he might have been hurt by that body shot. And now Cordina trying to open up in the corner just above our commentary position here at ringside. Referee Howard Foster warning Cordina for holding the head of his opponent down and punching at the same time.
Slipping on the inside, landing the left to the body there, Cordina.
Khatchatryan trying to counter.
Oh, good work from Joe. Changing the levels again. He's picked up the movement on the feet, Khatchatryan. I did feel this could be a frustrating night for Cordina. Watch Khatchatryan, he's a good fighter. From what's seen in the past, can move. Has that amateur pedigree that you spoke about. Obviously has his dreams and aspirations to go and fight for world titles, but Joe, for the most of it, has been in control, but has just been frustrated by the movement of the Belgian.
When you close him off now, you just come off the glove straight away, yeah? Yeah. Don't let him have 3 shots on you. Sit underneath, yeah? All right? Just put some on his head.
Tell him that, Super.
Huh?
Tell him about the fucking headlock.
Yeah, I know, I told you. Joe, yeah, but you can't put him.
And this is the body shot, Darren.
Yeah, it was a lovely, didn't put no power in it, he was just very accurate with it, speed, straight down the middle, into the solar plexus of Khatchatryan, who certainly felt it. You see there, the knees buckled for a second. Credit to the Belgian, he moved and took some deep breaths, recovered.
I mean, you hurt him with a shot to the body, then.
So Tony Sims endorsing what we were saying about Khatchatryan being hurt with the shot to the body, but if there's a criticism of Cordina, he didn't really follow up on that success and dominate the rest of the round in the way that we thought he might at that stage. We're into round 8, scheduled to go 10. Also in the corner, Tony Sims was saying don't allow him free shots, which Cordina is there, although he is covering up. He's taking most of those on the gloves.
Yeah, Tony would just prefer that he, wasn't taking them on the glove, moving his head, and that obviously presents openings. When you're slipping side to side, you can fire back with your counters. Just a case of now Joe just upping the work rate now. He's been aggressive with the feet. He's pinned Khatchatryan down numerous times. He needs to up the work rate with the hands. The body work's been good. So impressed though with the movement of Khatchatryan.
The jab from Cordina slows down the Belgian's movements, and now he tries to follow up. But in the early stages, the Belgian was moving only to his left as he's doing here, but he's been switching it up since the 3rd and 4th rounds.
Got to try and look for that right hand over there, the jab of Khatchatryan, Joe. Just missing with the left hook there. Got to try and draw out that lead, some more feints. try and get Khatchatryan to lead off, who's just looking to sort of counter Cordina as opposed to be first. So Joe trying to set up that right hand upstairs. See the jab to the body, just misses with the left hook. Successful that shot, Khatchatryan, long right hook. Joe's taken most of them on the gloves.
A lot of applause and inspiration from the corner. They're very happy with what Khatchatryan is doing here, picking off Cordina at times on the way in.
That would be frustrating Joe even more. But they feel that he feels their opponent's corner maybe think they're doing enough. I don't think he is, you know, he's hitting an awful lot in the gloves. Khatchatryan landed too much clean. He has had some success with that right hook and a couple of uppercuts, but generally the body work's been good from Joe. Neglected the jab a little bit in the last couple of rounds, but he's got a good knack for Belgium. He moves really well, but as soon as Joe sets on him, grabs hold of the Welshman and stops him from working, lands a good wide right hook, the Belgium.
Cordina being frustrated at times on the way in and being caught on the way in as Khatchatryan grows in confidence as the round wears on. End of the 8th.
What are you doing? I don't give a fuck what you're doing. Fucking close him off and let your hands go. You're fucking following him around the ring, he's picking you off.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's bullshit. You're fucking terrible, that man. Let your hands fucking go. Yeah. Letting him hit you on the clubs and all that. What are you doing?
And this is the man on the left of screen who will be facing Robbie Davis Jr. next, the well-travelled Hank Lundy. He's got 9 defeats on his record, but 7 of those have come against either world champions or men who fought for world titles. From the fighting city of Philadelphia, up next against Robbie Davis Jr.
Yeah, he's looking round like that now. Let's go, you've got 2 rounds left. Let's go, come on.
Check it out. Round 9.
So 2 more rounds then for Joe Cordina to stake his claim to a world title shot at some stage in 2022. And there's more vigour about his work at the beginning of this round now as he ties Khatchatryan up on the ropes, although the Belgian is covering up, but now gets on the retreat. This is a much better start to the round from Cordina after almost taking the 8th off and getting complaints from Tony Sims in the corner that he was just chasing him around the ring.
And rightly so. He's doing the right thing though here, Joe, but Tony right to give Joe a kick up the backside. He's just not letting his hands go. It's just not the tempo. He's looking for the big shots, though he's worked the body well. He just needs to put them together. 2s and 3s, go again, go again. When you've got your man here, work the angles, skip round your opponent, let the shots go. This is better. This is a better tempo from Cordina. He's starting to up the work rate, but it is that movement again from Khatchatryan that's frustrating Joe. But this is where he's got to let his shots go. Singles aren't enough, 2s and 3s. I'm not sure if that last outing against Hernandez where he got the crushing KO sort of made Joe look for that one punch a bit too much, as opposed to putting them together. We know how classy Joe can be when he puts them together, 2s and 3s and 4s. Just loading up a little bit too much. But again, you can't discredit the work from Khatchatryan, especially with the movement. Now there's some right hands of his own, especially the long right hook. This is where Joe's got to work, and he does.
Joe opens up in the Belgian's corner, and the Belgians still getting loud and relentless advice and applause and inspiration from his corner as Cordina once again tries to open up. Getting back on top here, and if he is to use this as a test heading towards much stiffer ones at world title level, then, well, you have to ask the question, Darren, as to how and why he allowed Khatchatryan to get back into the fight when he had so much control.
Yeah. We'll look back at this, and he will be frustrated as he is in there now. But again, I don't want to discredit Khatchatryan too much. He's done what he's done really well. Not done enough to win the fight, but moved. Been relentless, that was a good left to the body. from the Welshman.
Terrific variety again, having landed solidly to the head. That was a brilliant shot to the body from Cordina. And now Khatchatryan tries his own version of that left hook to the body, flicks in a right uppercut as he steps away.
Neglecting the jab as well. That's better from Joe. Get behind that jab. That will set the right hand up. Good right hook. Khatchatryan inside.
Simultaneous right hands landing there in the last few seconds of this, the penultimate round of 10.
As he moves back off, look, put that jab underneath there and put that right hand over the top of him, yeah, as he moves off, there, Joe. Yeah, Joe?
Yeah.
Let's go, keep him under pressure now, Joe. Come on, he's breathing right heavy now. You can get him out of here this last round, mate, if you want to. Do you know what I mean? Give me another round like that, cut him off, let your hands go. Yeah? Joe? Come on, like
Virgin, Miko!
Well, signs of frustration on the face of Joe Cordina, but Tony Sims in the corner saying that he's capable of finishing this in this 10th and final round. And once again, it's Khatchatryan on the back foot, as he has been for the vast majority of the contest, but has been able to pick off Cordina once or twice. The better quality punching in the main has come from Cordina, and can he now finish it off with an impressive 10th and final round?
The work to the body from the Belgian. Yeah, though he's let his hands go, the Belgium, a lot of them have been taken on the gloves from Cordina, who has definitely landed the cleanest shots, especially with the right hand, and the work to the body has been really good. It's just in these stages here where he needs to let his hands go. He hasn't. He's had his man backed onto the corner, into the ropes numerous times, but again, I don't want to discredit the kind of experience that Khatchatryan's showing to sort of take the sting out of the shots and tie his man up. Takes a right hand there from Cordina.
Beautiful quality punching from Cordina. At times when he opens up, he does look truly top-end world class. But also at times today he's allowed Khatchatryan back into it. The two-man swing with the right hands.
Both missing with big right hands there, Mike. Joe looks to follow it up with a left hook. Khatchatryan sort of took the sting out of the shot. Joe's got his man on the ropes now, working the body well, but again, Khatchatryan has that knack of tying Joe up, frustrating the Welshman.
Halfway stage of the final round, and this is the first time that Khatchatryan has been into the 10th round. Previously hadn't gone beyond 8 rounds. And now tries to counter Cordina once again on the way in. Cordina still being made to work really hard for these openings. Khatchatryan still firing back from the back foot.
On the outside, Cordina, I think was trying to look for the left hook, didn't let the shot go. Khatchatryan's been busy in this round, letting his hands go, opting to hold his feet a bit more. You see him holding them, standing in the centre of the ring.
With half a minute to go, Darren, you wonder what sort of contest this might have been had Khatchatryan held his ground. Working away again, though. Cordina on the inside. Good exchange there, in keeping with the pattern and the manner of the entire contest. And still Khatchatryan trying that right hand over the top. Finishes the exchange by landing the left hook. Takes a right hand from Cordina to reply. Lively last few seconds of the contest here. A real test for Cordina from start to finish, as Khatchatryan is still firing away. Well, Joe Cordina raises his glove. He's made to work hard throughout those 10 rounds by Miko Khatchatryan, who came to the ring with a decent amateur pedigree and showed that he really knew how to look after himself there under sometimes some heavy attacks from Cordina, but there were also times when Cordina allowed Khatchatryan back into the contest.
Yeah, it was, I guess you could say, a frustrating night for Joe. Lands a good right hand there. The better shot, the quality of the shots come from Cordina, but it was just the movement from Khatchatryan throughout the contest that frustrated Joe. Again, when he set the traps like that, Joe, really, really good boxing. You see, you give the feint in the eyes to the body, comes back the right hand to the head, but there wasn't enough tempo. He didn't let his hands go in 3s and 4s. He didn't go again. They were loading up a little bit much. I don't know if that was because of that crushing KO, like I said, over Hernandez, that made him, you know, wanted to copy that and close this show in the same sort of fashion. But you have to try and, I mean, as much as there's lots to work on for Cordina, you know, closing the gap, getting the man into the corner, into the ropes, and letting your hands go. You have to give Khatchatryan some credit there for sticking to a plan, Mike.
Well, while we await the formal verdict, up next, it's Robbie Davis Jr.
Robbie Davis Jr.
I'm feeling in a good place and I'm ready for this one. This has come round, opportunity, and I've took it. This is my life, do you know what I mean? This is what I love. The boxing is still there. This is just like a must-win for me, and I'm very confident in doing so. Get the win, look good when I'm doing it, and then hopefully the opportunities come my way.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds here in Liverpool, England, we go to the judges' score totals. Pavel Cardini, 100-90. John Latham and Jean-Robert Lane both scored the bout 98-92. All three for your winner by unanimous decision. And the new WBA Continental Super Featherweight Champion, Joe, the Welsh Wizard, Cordina.
So one of the 3 judges giving it to Cordina by the full 10-round margin, the others by 8 rounds to 2. And as you see there, now 14 fights unbeaten for Joe Cordina. And plenty to come in 2022 for the man aiming at world title honours in the super featherweight division.
14 fights, 14 wins. Andy Lee, Tony Bellew in the studio with me to discuss what we just saw there. Tony, how do you think Joe will feel about that performance?
Rounds in the bank. I mean, he would have loved to have got rid of him, but that's in an ideal world, and let's be totally honest, we don't live in an ideal world. He's just got to look at it as a stepping stone onto bigger and better things.
Yeah, Khatchatryan was no bad fighter. You know, he came to win, he had a game plan. He knew he couldn't match Joe in terms of hand speed and possibly ability, but he tried to lull Joe in and catch him on the counter and survive when he had to, and landed some good shots when he had to as well. So I think that sets Joe Cordina up really, really well.